What is going on, YouTube? Thank you for joining me. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the best free-to-play decks in Master Duel. So the criteria to fit on this list is very simple. I feel that a free-to-play deck should probably be under 600 URCP. So you can go to the Master Duel Meta website, go to top decks, and use the search to look for what decks might have under 600, what would cost under 600 URCP. You can even look for the SR. So 1,000 SR is pretty reasonable. A lot of decks fit under the 1,000. So we're really looking at how much does the deck cost to craft for all the UR materials. Without any further ado, we're going to get into the video. But first, why do you care about what I have to say? I've been in the top 10,000 players on the Duelist Cup in Master Duel. Most recently, in the World Championship qualifier, I did not perform as well as I would have liked to. I was using tier limit, and in hindsight, there was so much tier limit hate. The way to go would have been Sprite. So on and so forth. Filibustering. Why else do you care? I played this game for 3,000 hours, so you don't have to. All right, I think that covers everything. Before we get into the video, leave a comment. What decks do you think will be on the list?
Now is the time. My ever-faithful companion, Dark Magician!
To begin, I think the cheapest deck I could find is Umi Control. I am not an Umi Control expert. This deck did well pretty recently in the Meta Weekly. Maybe we could take a look at that. If we go to top decks, I will search for Umi Control. Just 2 days ago, this deck got into the top 8 of the Meta Weekly. All links to these builds or where you can find these decks, I'll try to leave them in the description. So Umi Control, top 8, Barrier Statue of the Torrent. We're really looking at the SRs here. Ocean Dragonlord Karyushin, Mega Fortress Whale, Triple Tactics Talent. It's a staple that you should have or would be worth crafting for your other decks. That's another thing. When I made this list, when I started creating this list, I had in mind for new players, free-to-play players, and investment into the future. So what decks will be good, what decks might be getting support, or what decks will be getting support based on what I know from playing TCG. Moving forward, we have Eldlich. Not a huge Eldlich fan, kind of boring, but you know, it works. Solemn Judgment, kind of staple. Eldlich, the Golden Lord, you might have pulled a alternate art one recently. Zeus is another UR, it's a staple. Unicorn, these are staples. So the Super Dreadnought package and Constellar Pleiades, these are not really staples, but that's going to boost up the power of your Eldlich deck. So again, I'm not an Eldlich expert, but you might be able to play the deck without them and craft them down the road. Something to keep in mind. Oh, and the Lord of the Heavenly Prison. It's going to be great for all of your trap decks. I've got another deck on the list coming later that's going to be, that would also benefit, I believe, from the Heavenly Prison. Something to keep in mind. Rika. Wait. This Eldlich deck was top 16 in the Meta Weekly 2 days ago. Moving forward, Rika. I'm not a huge Rika enthusiast. I've played against it a little bit. Solid deck. That's all I can say. Gouki. Again, not a Gouki expert. Solid deck. But I do want to look at the URs for that Rika. But while we're here, Called by Ash, Maxi, these are all staples. Baron, staples. Sheng Ying. Supreme, Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Sheng Ying. Synchro 10. It's pretty universal. You can use it in a lot of decks. It's the same as Baron, a tuner plus a non-tuner, splashable. So it's kind of, it's not, I wouldn't call it a staple, but a lot of people have it. Excel, Synchro, Stardust Dragon, new release, good card. Not a staple, but a lot, you should have it. Adamancipator Risen Dragite in the Gouki deck. What is this even doing? If someone can explain this to me, please let me know. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button, consider subscribing. Live streams on Twitch, you can join us playing live. Gouki of the Despia, that's still in the pack that is available at the moment of the filming of this video, so you can get that pretty easily. So you can as well get the Ice Jade. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this one. Gimir Agranine, I don't know. Dweller has been awesome through the tier limit format, so a staple in the tier format that you're going to have. Kragan is a part of a legacy pack. 1-for-1, another staple. So this is like mostly staples that you probably have outside of your Gouki of the Deep Beyond, your Ice Jade, Adamancipator Risen Dragite. What is this even doing? Summon, activate the top 5. Summon a rock monster. What do they have here that's a rock? What are they looking for? I have no idea what the Risen is doing. Maybe it's used to synchro climb. I don't know. Someone knows, explain that to me. That'd be awesome. Going back, I know we're going back, but we're going to Rika. Just a real quick look at the URs in the deck. 1-for-1, it's pretty much a staple. Infinite Impermanence is a staple. Sun Avalon, Melius, that's 1. Dancepone, 2. 4 URs that are not staples for the Rika, but everything else is SR, except for Infinite Impermanence and Ash, Maxi. Do you even count those? Because everyone has that 1-for-1. Or if you don't have Maxi, 3 of Maxi and 3 Ash, 3 Imperm. You should. I don't know what you're doing. So when I look at these lists, I kind of don't count those 100% staples that you're always going to have. Gouki we talked about. Pendulum Magician. And this deck got top 100 in the Duelist Cup in May. This wasn't the most recent World Championship qualifier, but this is top 100 in the Duelist Cup. Still awesome. A lot of these cards are from the Structure Deck. What is the name of the Structure Deck? Is it Magicians of Pendulum? Or Counter Swing? It's the Magicians of Pendulum Structure Deck. So I guess just the Perform Pal Pendulum Sorcerer. There's a few cards in here. So a few of these cards are from the Structure Deck. Pretty easy to get. Magician of Pendulum, that's the Structure Deck. So this UR, Perform Pal Pendulum Sorcerer, Structure Deck. Perform Pal Celestial Magician. This is not a part of the Structure Deck. This is a UR. That's 1 UR. Shifter. 2 URs. 3. 4 with Astrograph. 5 Electromite. 6 Beyond the Pendulum. 7 Selene. 8 Time Star. Okay, so this deck has quite a few more URs that you'd have to get your hands on. As you can see, as we get higher in the list, it's going to cost more for these decks. But Borreload, Baron, Dweller, Avramax, kind of Appaloosa, Hope Harbinger, kind of, these are staples. IP Masquerade, I looked over it because it's a staple. But maybe the Hope Harbinger is not a staple. Beyond the Pendulum, unless you're a Pendulum player, not a staple. Selene, not so much, but it's good for Dark Magician. I'm a Dark Magician player, so if you follow the channel, you might have one already. So this deck has quite a few URs that are not staples, but hey, top 100 Duelist Cup. It's crazy. You can't beat that. Labrynth is going to be getting some support in the future. I know this, that there are cards in TCG that are not in Master Duel, so we know that they'll be supported in the future. What I'm saying is it's a good investment. Again, we see Dimension Shifter, Lord of the Heavenly Prison. These are URs that are outside of the archetype that you might use in other decks. 2 5-headed dragons? It's crazy. I don't know why they're playing these 2 5-headed dragons. I think it's probably for the Dogmatica punishment. There might be other 5,000 attack extra deck monsters that aren't UR that could help cut down. Actually, this is a legacy pack card. Never mind. Forget everything I said. That doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Forget it. Welcome Labrynth is a UR. You're gonna need 3 of those. Solemn Strike, pretty good. It's a good deck, good card. Elder Entity and Tis, again, part of the Dogmatica punishment package. You want to send we're not doing this for all the decks, but send Entis with a Dogmatica, and you get a double poppage from the Entis effect and the Dogmatica punishment. I used to use Dogmatica a lot in Dark Magician, so if you seen my other videos, you might have that. Moving forward, Sword Soul Tenyi, 3 Moye, Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, 2 Shishao, Chao Fang the Stomps Nibirus, Baron de Fleur. It's a kind of staple. Yeah, Baron de Fleur staple. Shang Ying, kind of a staple. That's kind of that's what I meant to say. Sword Soul Sinister Sovereign Winging Longyan. UR, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 URs, almost pretty much exclusive to the archetype that you're probably just going to use in this deck. You might use them in some other decks, but an awesome deck. Dual level max in the World Championship qualifiers. This video is just gonna highlight the decks and the URs that you need inside of to play the decks. I'm not going to talk too much about the combos and whatnot. If you want to see anything like that, leave a comment, let me know. A few of these decks I do play in Master Duel. Again, if you want to see me play, we're live streamed on Twitch. I'll see you there. Moving forward, Adamancipator. I do have this. I play a little bit of Sword Soul, not that much stuff. I have Adamancipator. Haven't fully mastered it, but I do enjoy playing it. I also have Pendulum Magician as well. Same story. Adamancipator. URs. Wow, I don't even... There's nothing in the main deck outside of your staples that are required. So moving on to the extra deck, Savage Dragon, staple, Risen Dragite. That's like the 3rd time I've seen it on this list today. Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. That's what, are we gonna call that a staple now? Because it's the 2nd time we've seen it. Baron de Fleur, a staple for sure. Sprite Elf. I think everyone has this card, but it's banned in TCG and OCG. I wonder if it's on borrowed time. Crazy. Apollosa, staple, and access code talker. Again, another staple. So this deck seems to be a lot of staples and easily craftable. Again, World Championship qualifiers, dual level max. So far I've shown you this is 8 decks I've shown you. I have, I wanted to show you 10 to make this a top 10. But we'll have some honorable mentions as well. So moving forward, Floowandereeze. Wait, Detour? Tier list. We're in tier 0. Sprite, kind of expensive. Floowandereeze is a powerful deck in this meta. Should be good in the future. Rico we talked about. Adamancipator still going strong thanks to Block Dragon. I should have talked about this before, but Block Dragon is banned in the TCG but allowed at 3 in the OCG, so I think 1 Block Dragon's fair. Should be fine. Good investment, I'd say. Moving forward, Floowandereeze. I mentioned Shifter. I think that's the 3rd time we've seen it on this list today, but now that I realize that's probably because we are in a tier limit meta, but this card will still be good. It's like I like to think of it as like a Maxine. No matter what, you're putting your opponent in a difficult position. So 2 Shifter, Avian, Terraforming is going to be banned, so we're not talking about that. Dark Ruler no more. That's a staple. 3 Advent of Adventure, so 3 Advent, Avian, Shifter. Shifter's a staple now. Let's just say that. A lot of these decks have had it. We'll not count. I don't think we'll count that in today's discussion. Goddess, it's a staple. Triple Tri-Brigade Sharag. I don't understand the play for this. Why they have 3 of them? Maybe someone can explain that to me. I've played a little bit of Floowandereeze, but I never get so far that I'm Link summoning Sharag. They have the Xyz package here, Lyrilisk into their Zeus, so there's a UR as a staple. Link Karibo, staple. Floowandereeze, pretty inexpensive deck. I think I saw an even cheaper Floowandereeze deck, an even less expensive Floowandereeze deck, but this one got Master 5. So we're gonna go to Floowandereeze Breakdown, and we can search. We'll browse all. We gotta do this again. Searching by Floowandereeze, and we're gonna search. We're gonna sort them by the cost in CP, crafting points. So this is the cheapest Floowandereeze deck that I could come across. Max level in the World Championship qualifier. Only 330 URCP. They're not playing Zeus. It's crazy. So they got the Goddess, Zealantis. I think that's enough discussion about Floowandereeze. You get the idea. Pretty good deck. It's gonna be good in the future. Or it will hold its value. Hope we sound good. Now, finally, number 1 best free-to-play deck, DDD. I'm just kidding. It's not DDD. So DDD is a amazing deck, very rewarding to an experienced player. I would not recommend this to anyone starting who's a newcomer. Very combo heavy, but you will learn a lot when you play it. I also wouldn't recommend it because, not that it's expensive or not as powerful as the other decks, it might not be for everyone, and if you invest in it and you don't like it, I'd feel bad. But, you know, keep in mind you can always test these decks out in other ways before you play them on Master Duel. So this might not be exactly how I would play the deck, but if we go to the breakdown, oh god, Browse all, we gotta do this again. DDD, where are you? Let's search. Is it the only top deck? It's so weird. We're doing the loop again. D/D, D. DDD. Interesting. There's other decks available to look at, but I can't sort those ones by the cost of the crafting points, but they are by date. So we'll take a look here. This is max level Duelist Cup. This is a perfect example. Max level in Duelist Cup DDD. So again, URs exclusive to the archetype that you're not going to use in any other deck. Triple D Divisor King Deus Machina X. DDD Cursed King Siegfried. And Flame High King Genghis. Some of these other cards, like the Marksman King Tal, can be found in Legacy packs. You're gonna have Zeus already. Divisor King Deus Machina X can be played in Labrynth, so it's something to keep in mind. Now, this is not the number one deck for the list, but this is a strong recommendation. I always recommend this to everyone. This is my favorite deck to play for fun. I play this in TCG at locals. Very rewarding. So now, the best free-to-play deck, I think, is going to push the envelope on how much URCP we're going to spend. But if you're willing to spend 690 URCP crafting branded Despia, I think that's going to be the best bang for your buck. 690 URCP, 450 SR, World Championship qualifiers, dual level max. This deck will get support in the future. You can look at TCG and see it. Hopefully sooner than later. Let's see. Like we did before. URs exclusive to the archetype. Fairy Tale Snow. It's an awesome card. Banned in TCG. It's allowed at 3. In both Master Duel and the OCG. It's a lot one in a lot of decks. Powerful in today's meta. Gold Sarcophagus. So what I was going to say was, is the Snow a staple? That's up to you to decide. Gold Sarcophagus. I don't have this card, but there's so many decks that I've wanted to play this card in that I might even go as far as to consider it a staple. Super Polymerization, staple. Branded Lost, that's your first card that's UR exclusive. Exclusive UR. What did we say? An archetype exclusive UR. So, Foolish Burial, that's a staple. Branded Fusion, that's obviously a UR that you're going to need for just this deck, but you can play Branded Tier Limit. There's options. There's a lot of branded variants, many different ways to play the deck. To Albion, Despian Quiritis, 2 Masquerade, 2 Mirror Jade, 2 Lubellion, and 2 Guardian Chimera. Pretty interesting. I've seen people even play 3 Masquerade. And this is just the bottom. This is the cheapest, least expensive branded deck that I could find. So maybe that's why they don't have the 3rd Masquerade. But do they really need the 2 Guardian? Very interesting. I don't know. But I would recommend branded, fun deck, different ways to play it. It's going to be good in the future. Some honorable mentions that were mentioned by some of the users in our Discord server, which I would definitely recommend you to join us there. Link in the description if you want assistance with advice or you have any questions. We're happy to help. Honorable mentions, something so on and so forth. Mathmech and Sprite. I really think that's all we talked about. So we know, you know, that Sprite is on the tier list. Okay, let's do it this way. Top decks. We're gonna look for Sprite. Searching, sorting by cost and UR. This deck was just posted today. Diamond 5. This person in the notes says that it's gonna have a better matchup against Sprite post the new Forbidden Limitless update. So I'll definitely leave a link to this deck in the description. And another one the other honorable mention was Mathmech. You can play regular Mathmech or Adamancipator Mathmech. Adamancipator was recommended. I don't know which is better, but we'll just go regular Mathmech for now. Sorting is starting at 750 URCP, but keep in mind, Mathmech Circular was just limited to 1 in the TCG. You can see it here. I don't know what the future will bring, but between Small World and their Xyz monsters searching, Small World, Signet mining, they have ways to get to their circular. I think that's it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing. Join us on Twitch, link in the description. Leave a comment.